Hey, hello there. This is Sheila Bicknell, BlueWater Oracle. And I wanted to jump on from my home office today, live, random, because we're about to move into a new moon. On my cell phone, I have a moon app, which is awesome. I love it to give me an idea when we're going into full moon, new moon, what's happening with the moon, if there's an eclipse. And so I looked it up to see where I am. I'm just west of Montreal in Quebec, Canada. And we're going into the new moon literally in a couple of minutes. So I wanted to come on and to say hi and to chat and to pull a card for you today. So new moon is an interesting energy. It's a time where it would be dark, right, outside. So when at night we don't have the light of the moon, but we have the light of other things. We have stars at this time of year where I am. We also have fireflies. They were out in numerous numbers yesterday. So I invite you to look at where can you find light in other ways in your life, and always allow that light to come in and help you see what you need to see what you need to heal, see what you need to understand and know about so you can take the next steps forward. All right. There is always light there, even if it's a tiny, tiny bit. It is there. And we as humans want that and can use that because we depend on light in our lives. We don't have super, super great nighttime vision, although we do gain wonderful insights and knowledge overnight through sleep, through rest, through social activities, through being peaceful and quiet and connecting with nature in that different way. And so I would love to hear from you wherever you are in the world. And what is nighttime like? So on a new moon when it's dark, where you are right now in July and 2018, what is your nighttime like? Do you have city noises? Do you have nature sounds? Do you have tons of lights from buildings or houses around you? Or are you in the real quiet out in the forest, just listening and seeing natural world around you? This is also a great time where things can come up from our shadow side, things that we need to be aware of or that are ready to be shifted and moved. So they can come up also out of the dark and into the light that we are creating or that we're utilizing. So this can be a time to be thinking of new ideas, thinking of releasing things. So all that feels new, but can also be related to coming up and out of the dark, can be important too. Okay, so I wanted to pull a card. So I have the Earth Magic Oracle cards in my little fairy bag. So great time to touch base with the fairies. I believe also that in some parts of the world, when I looked it up, it was more around Southern Australia and Antarctica that there will be a solar eclipse tomorrow. So some people will notice that effect as well or be aware of it. You don't have to plan for it being a big issue for you. Just be aware if you notice or feel a little particular that that's one of the numerous factors that could be having an impact on you. So the other part, before I pull the card, Earth Magic Oracle cards, before I pull this card, I want to, or I would like to ask for some help from you, if you don't mind, to be asking for some gentle, nurturing, nourishing rain to come to the area where I live. So we've been having a gorgeous summer. It's been hot, it's been bright, it's been sunny, it's been humid, the sky is beautiful. It's that rich, rich blue, a little bit like my painting here, with puffy clouds in it, but no rain. And because it's so hot, things are really starting to dry out. And it's been a few years since we've had a real dry spell. So if you feel so inclined, I would love for you to breathe with me. And I always put boundaries on requests like this because we don't need torrential, crazy rains. We need gentle, nourishing rain to help plants and animals and insect life to help farmers with crops. There are numerous crops that are in danger of being lost this summer because it's so warm. And just to help people gain that balance, right? We love nature and we ask for it to help us stay in balance. And having rain balanced with sun and warm is necessary and important, definitely where I am. So if you would just take a breath with me and think about gentle, beautiful, nourishing rain for the land, for the people, for the animals, for the food that is being produced for animals and plants, as well as for us as humans. We thank Gaia, Mother Earth, the Great Spirit. We thank all of the highest good for listening to us today, any of us who are listening and creating. We thank you for bringing us the balancing, nourishing, nurturing, gentle rains so that the land may serve its highest purpose and bring protection to all. We understand that sometimes we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but we ask that you consider this guidance and that our prayers and hopes and desires be heard. I invite anyone who is in other parts of the world who may need warmth, who may need sunlight, other places who may need dry spells, whatever is needed to help balance and understand this natural world and to help us be in balance with the plants, the animals, the ground, the land, the elements, as well as our human species as we work with and hope for from nature. Thank you so much for the highest blessings and the greatest good, law of grace. Thank you. So, thanks so much for that. I appreciate it. And as I mentioned in there, if you're somewhere else in the world and you have a different weather need or element need, please write it down. You can put it in code. You don't have to say where you are. You could just say, what you feel that would help be in balance with where you are. Maybe it's winter and you need different types of weather. Maybe you're somewhere where it's raining nonstop and you need it to be sort of sunny and dry. So let's see what we can do. Okay. I know that we're calling for some rain in our area on the weekend, which I know some people hate on the weekend, but at this point, we need some rain. Okay. So thank you for bringing us some gentle, nourishing, balancing rain. So Earth Magic Oracle cards. As we ask for rain, as we're in the new moon, a few weeks ago I had the breakthrough card, so it still is in my mind. I still feel as though it's a breakthrough phase, people coming out of tunnels, coming out of maybe dark parts. So let's see what we get for this card. Let's take a deep breath, relax. Remember to listen to your own guidance, your own intuition, as well as what I say to you. There we are. Okay. Great. So we have the volcano card, the volatility card. And it's interesting for me that this card comes out as we talk about elements and weather, because I know there have been volcanoes going, at least two that I know of over the last few months that have been going in Hawaii. And I'm pretty sure there was one somewhere else. I apologize, I don't recall where it was. It might have been South America. And of course, I mean, volcanoes are incredible feats of nature, but they're also very destructive when it comes to human life and animal life, even if they will then create new life from what they leave behind. So I know that sometimes it's hard for people to believe that when I say, or when an intuitive says, I was thinking about this, but it really was. I was thinking about looking back and seeing, okay, did I have a post in the past that was about volcanoes? I really felt like I did. And for whatever reason, I just didn't look back to see, did I have this post? So I guess we're going to do the post, whether we wanted to or not. All right. So this feels as though it's a reminder, and it feels really intense today. And of course, there's layers to the cards as I always read them. It feels as though there is a reminder that humans as a species and the word balance don't always go really well together. We, and I will put perhaps a parentheses around this as I get insight and info, that certain groups of the human species are really bad at being in balance with nature. And what I mean by really bad is it's not a judgment. I believe the majority of people who have access to a variety of information would acknowledge that there are large groups of humans that abuse natural resources, that do not consider the world, the natural order of things as we create tools and plastics and use coal and oils and use water, and use food and use land. I think in general, I would hazard a guess, write to me if you think I'm wrong, but I would say an educated guess that the majority of people would say we're not so good at that. There are cultures, there are groups that have existed for many, many years, and hundreds of years, thousands of years, and definitely before that, even more efficiently, who were in balance with nature. So this volatility feels as though it's coming from a perspective of a little frustration from the land, if the land can have that, if Earth can have that, to say, oh, come on, all of you, try, really try. And I understand for myself, we have moments where we're super efficient at recycling, at composting, at respecting and learning and organizing, and other times where we just buy something and use it and throw it out, like foodstuffs or plastics somewhere. And so I get it. I get how challenging it can be. As a human race, though, it's time to continue this work towards balance. And I know there's tons of people working on this. So I would love to hear as well, if you've listened this far, thank you. I would love to hear what are businesses you've heard that are doing great work for this balance. What are companies that are doing innovation and working hard and creating? Who are individuals who are finding and discussing new methods to do this, to stay in balance with nature and humanity and animals and environment and all of that? I would love to hear. So please share, because we all learn together, right? When it comes to this sort of stuff, it's not one person. It's going to be a collective movement that is already happening and that will continue to happen. So it feels that that's one part of this volcano, this volatility. It also feels as though it's a reminder that sometimes when we want to bring stuff up from the depths, we forget other stuff that comes up from the depths. So in this case, it feels like it's a reminder around oil, and that oil is coming up from deep places, usually in the earth. But it's also a reminder that lava, from my very limited understanding of volcanoes, not something I've studied beyond elementary school, it's also coming up from the depths. So when you wake things from the depths, be aware of all the possibilities. And that's a little bit the same for humans, right? For people, when we are working on self-development, self-work, remember to get guidance. Remember to work with people who you trust and who you believe understand you, so that when you are working on things from yourself, as you release and bring up one thing, that somebody is there to support you as maybe something else comes up that you didn't expect. Because we all have layers and we have different things that get worked on different times as we progress through this human life experience. And as many will say, previous life experiences that sometimes tag along and have stuff for us to continue to work on. On another side of this, I had this card come up for me recently when I was doing a reading for myself on my own work and progress. And so the big part of it that came up for me, and I'm going to mention it because it could be very important for somebody else as well, is that deep-rooted passion. So in this case, yes, it could be a sexual passion, but it comes also from that passion of really honoring who are you, who do you want to be, who do you need to be, what is that passionate part of you that wants to be expressed. So although you can't see it on camera, I'm going down to the depths of my lower chakras, the root chakra, which is in the lower pelvic area, through the abdomen, just below the belly button. These three chakras represent the red, orange, and yellow colors. Red, orange, and yellow colors. And in many ways, they represent that sacredness, that security, that passion for life, that passion for our own truth and what we need. So there's also a call to that coming up as well. And that really resonates with a lot of readings and energy I've had this summer for myself and for others. And in my group, in my Oracle Cove membership group, which I would love to have you join, where we do weekly readings and lives as well to share and learn together. So that this summer is, yeah, it's a vacation for people who are in summertime. Of course, people in winter, you might feel a little bit differently. But for those of us who are in the deep summertime, yes, it's a time of vacation. Yes, it's a time of relaxation. But that there's also, for some people, a real call to be recognizing this passion, be working with it and advancing things forward, to be creating and designing and developing in our life. So it felt as though there's been a lot of reflection and now the stuff's coming forward. So this can also be a reminder that if you have been doing self-development, or if you felt that things have been a little bit stuck, or you've been doing lots of reflecting, lots of awareness, time to step it up, time to move things up a little bit and to bring some action into it. No, you won't be active on everything, but you will bring some action. Okay, so that's our volcano card. And as I think about stopping and moving on from our request for rain and our volcano card, the earth magic cards are like, no, pick another card. So I will pick another card. I'm not going to argue with the cards. And in case you can hear that, there's a plane going over my house. I don't often hear them, but I have the window open because it's such a gorgeous day. And I hope it's not too dark on the camera. It might be a little bit. I just chose not to put the ceiling light on because it's such a bright, beautiful, lovely day. So hopefully you can see me okay. All right, so continuing on from that volcano volatility card. Now as I look again at the card, hold on. As I look again, I don't know if you can see it. In the top of this card, let me try to get it. So right up here, right there, there are actually two faces. One's facing upwards and one's facing towards my finger. And so they always look as though they're in a very passionate moment. So I think there's somebody who's going to hear this, or it's going to pop on your screen, so you may or may not actually hear what I say. It doesn't matter. The energy there is, let me see what it was, because it popped in and then it popped back out. So the energy there is a real frustration about being able to be really close and intimate with someone. And what this feels as though it's saying is that you are, whoever this is, whoever this resonates with. If it doesn't, just move on. If it does, listen. You are hoping that the other person, the partner, sorry, I'm just gonna take a sip of tea. You are hoping that the partner, the person of interest, the person of passion, is going to be the one to initiate things and going to be the one who's going to be bringing in the fire. The challenge right now is that this person, for whatever is going on in their life, feels as though they are very self-conscious at the moment. They're really, really not tapped into that beautiful, soulful place in them. So it's very difficult for them to bring you that passion and love and that intimacy. So that's one part of it. And then for that perspective, it means that you would be the one to invite, to gently bring them, to reassure them, to bring them closeness, to bring them affection without perhaps expectation. And that's super important. The other part of this for you is that you have something within that is about expressing how you express your own passion, how you express your own intimacy, that it feels as though it's time for you to be connecting with a different layer of you so that you feel better with it. You feel more comfortable with yourself and your body and your capacity to be very close and intimate and open and relaxed with someone. So there's some stuff on both sides. So it's not just one person. There's things happening on both sides. So I hope that helps a little bit. I won't go into more detail on it. Of course, you're welcome to get in touch if you need more help or to get in touch with somebody else if that resonates, that you might need some help with that. Okay? So then let's look. And that's what happens. Stuff pops in. So I hope it resonates with you. All right, so here we're looking for our next card for all of us. Anybody who listens to this, who pops in, who sees the cards on the little picture of the video. Oh, there it is. Okay. Card sticking out. Clouds, shape-shifting. Okay. So this, although it's still, my first impression when I see it is still around weather, around the elements, around rain, all of that. But what is actually coming up for me, so you get whatever you need to get out of it as you look at that card. But what is actually coming up for me is that play, is that childhood fun where you look at clouds and you go, oh, that's a bunny. Oh, that's a ship. Oh, that's a unicorn. That's a hat. Oh, look, a hat is now on the bunny. Like, whatever. It's the play. It's the imagination. It's the creativity that comes from something that's already occurring in nature for a very different reason. So where do you need to bring in some of that creativity, some of that fun, some of that relaxed, no, the world is not going to end because I'm doing this, just joy time, fun time? What do you need to be bringing in that's some fun for you? All right, it feels as though for somebody here or some people, it's been quite intense. The clouds have been pretty intense. So lighten them up, look at them and look at them differently and be like, okay, I can see where you're bringing rain, which we need. I can see where you're bringing reflections. Sorry, just had something pop up on my screen there, which is very funny. Never seen that before. All right, sorry. So you can see that you want to have some play there. All right, so shape shifting. And there's also a part of this card that is a reminder, as we had that call to action over the summer. So where do you want things to go? What do you want things to do, to be, to feel like as you move forward? And that, I know I've had that for a client. I've had that a bit for myself. I've chatted about it with other people. So there seems to be a movement in this to look ahead just a little bit and say, okay, well, what do I want? What do I want it to feel like? And to sort of visualize that shifting in there and then go from there. Okay, so allowing the fun, allowing the play. And on the aspect of shifting, If anybody's feeling stuck, if you're feeling like you're being held back by stuff, you've got heaviness, questions that are just not getting solved, and you're looking for a new perspective, you're looking for action steps to take forward, help you feel lighter and better, I invite you to give me a call. I invite you to get in touch, send me a message, an email, and we can set up a session. So I do Oracle intuitive readings like I've done here, but more specific, of course, when I'm working with clients. And we actually work to shift things so that you feel less stuck, so you can see your way forward. And that's so important and so vital. And why not? Why stay stuck? If you feel good in the stuck, if it's helping you, if you know that it's a stepping point, that's okay. But if it's been lingering on, if you're not feeling comfortable, or you're feeling, I need to be getting the next step, or I need help to shift this, get in touch. It'd be my pleasure. So I do sessions by Skype, by telephone, in person in the West Island of Montreal in Beaconsfield, as well as email, written, or audio recorded sessions are also available. It'd be my pleasure. You can also join my Oracle Cove online membership community, where we meet weekly and we have Oracle guidance. We also do a monthly meditation. We do some teaching and learning together. And it's a really interesting, supportive, beautiful place to be as we work with intuition and Oracle cards and energy to help our lives be better. So, Sheila Bicknell, BlueWater Oracle. Follow me on Facebook. This is going on YouTube as well. And my website, BlueWaterOracle.com. And I look forward to hearing or seeing you in the future. So all the best. Look out for my lives and my written readings. And thank you again for helping me to request rain from the beautiful Mother Nature in just the right amount that we need. All the best to you. Wishing you a beautiful new moon. Take care, enjoy, and we'll chat soon. Bye.